Little Fox.
The Little Mermaid. Chapter 1. The Sea Kingdom. At the bottom of the wide ocean is a world called the Sea Kingdom. This kingdom lies at the deepest part of the ocean. It is deeper than any anchor can go. It is so deep that humans, who live on land in the upper world, can never visit. In the Sea Kingdom, blue water covers everything. The water there moves like the waves above. When the ocean is calm, the sun's rays reach down to this deep place. And on a still night, the moon and stars send pale light sparkling down through the water. The most beautiful trees grow at the bottom of the sea. Some have purple branches and blue leaves. There are gardens with many brightly colored flowers, too. The plants all move slowly back and forth with each ripple of the water. Many kinds of fish, large and small, swim among the leaves and the flowers. They play all day and sleep among the rocks. Sea folk live in the Sea Kingdom, and they are called mermaids and mermen. They love to swim and play tag with the fish. The mermaids also love to feed the fish from their pretty hands. Like their fish friends, the mermaids and mermen have tails to help them swim. The sea folk love the ocean and everything in it. They would never want to live anywhere else. And they live a very long time, about 300 years. The sea folk are happy to spend their days singing and playing in the gardens. A long time ago, a king lived in a palace at the deepest part of the sea. He lived with his 6 young daughters, the mermaid princesses. His palace had walls of bright orange coral. Black mussels covered the roof. Their shells opened and closed with the changing of the tide. When each shell was open, a silver pearl twinkled from within. The Sea King was kind and ruled over all the beings living underwater. He loved to make them happy, but he lived with a broken heart.
How sad that my wife, the Queen, died many years ago.
He sighed.
Now I care for the 6 mermaid princesses all by myself.
"Oh, no, you don't," said his mother, the wise mermaid. "I'm the one who takes care of them. And I make sure the palace is clean and tidy, too. Son, you always forget about everything I do around here,"
You are right, Mother.
said the Sea King with a smile.
This family is very lucky to have you.
The wise mermaid knew a lot about the world, and she taught her granddaughters well. "When you are ready," she always told the princesses, "I will teach you about life above the sea." The sisters were each born 1 year apart. When each sister turned 15, she would be allowed to swim up to the sea surface. Then the mermaid princess would see the upper world for the first time. The mermaid princesses were happy with their simple lives in the Sea Kingdom. Every one of their days was spent in fun and laughter. But the youngest princess was different. She was quiet, thoughtful, a bit unusual. Because she was the youngest and the smallest, they called her the Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid. Chapter 2. The Youngest Sea Princess. Each princess had her own small garden. One princess made her flower bed in the shape of a whale. Another princess made her garden in the shape of a shell. The sisters filled their gardens with odd things they had found in sunken ships. But the Little Mermaid's garden was simple. It had only red flowers and a statue of a human boy. The statue had been her mother's, and the Little Mermaid loved it. While her sisters played in their gardens, the Little Mermaid sat quietly in hers. Looking at the boy, she wondered about humans and the world above.
"What is it like in the upper world?"
she asked her grandmother one day. "Oh, little one, there is so much to see," said the wise mermaid. "There are thick forests of trees that turn colors when the air turns cold. Soon after, their leaves fall to the ground. Then the snow comes."
"Snow?"
said the Little Mermaid.
"What's that?"
"Snow is made of thousands of small ice flakes," replied her grandmother. "In winter, these flakes fall from the sky. But in summer, green grass covers the ground, and the flowers give off a lovely scent."
"It sounds wonderful,"
the Little Mermaid said.
"Here, our trees always look the same, and the flowers have no smell at all."
The wise mermaid told her more. "In the upper world, you can look up in the sky and clearly see the sun, moon, and stars. And birds fly from tree to tree singing lovely songs."
"Tell me about the animals, Grandmother,"
the Little Mermaid begged. "Some fly, as I said, but many have 4 legs and walk on the ground. Humans walk on 2 legs, and they are very good at building things. They make lots of houses, which become towns." The Little Mermaid wanted to hear more.
"They also build ships, don't they?"
"Oh, yes, little one," her grandmother said. "But you already know that."
"I know, but I love to hear about humans. They come so close to us, sailing above, but their world seems so far away."
"Yes, humans are very different from us," said her grandmother. "They don't live as long as sea folk. We live for 300 years, but humans have souls."
"What is a soul?"
the Little Mermaid asked. "I don't know, little one," the wise mermaid replied. "I have heard a soul can live forever. But humans don't really know what a soul is either. Whatever it is, I think it must be something special."
"I want to know everything about humans."
"When you are 15 years old, you will see," said her grandmother. "You'll swim to the surface and watch the ships sail by."
"But I want to go now,"
the Little Mermaid pleaded. "Be patient. Your turn will come in 5 years," said her grandmother, smiling. "But you will find, dear, that our home down here is better than any place else." The years passed, and the Little Mermaid's sisters went to the upper world. But she had to wait. So, on clear nights, she looked up at the moon and stars. Whenever a shadow swept across them, she knew it was a ship passing overhead. Eagerly, the Little Mermaid stretched her white arms up toward the bottom of the ship. Someday, she would touch the world above. The Little Mermaid. Chapter 3. Tales from the Upper World. As each mermaid princess reached her 15th birthday, she was allowed to swim to the upper world. Before her journey, each sister promised to tell the others what she saw the next day. When the eldest princess turned 15, she spent her time close to shore.
I lay on a sandbar in the moonlight and gazed at a distant town.
She told her sisters.
The house's lights twinkled like stars. Bells rang from a large house with a tall tower.
The next year, the second sister came up to the surface at sunset.
The sky and the water glowed golden red.
She said.
I saw fluffy purple clouds high overhead. A flock of white swans flew just above the water toward the setting sun.
The following year, the third sister went deeper into the upper world.
I swam up a river and saw rolling hills and woods filled with tall green trees. I heard birds sing happy songs to their chicks. In a small cove, humans were swimming, even without tails.
Frightened of the humans, the third sister fled back to the open sea. Hearing this, the fourth sister was less bold. She kept far away from land and stayed among the rough waves.
I saw playful dolphins jumping over each other above the water.
She said to the others.
Huge whales spouted water through holes in their backs. In the distance, I saw ships. They were so far away that they looked like seagulls.
Now the fifth sister had her turn. Her birthday was in winter, when the sea often turned a deep green and storms raged. Enormous icebergs stuck out of the water.
I sat in the snow on a mountain of ice, and I watched a ship sail by.
She told her sisters.
Soon, the sea became choppy, and the green waves turned black. Thunder roared in my ears, and I saw lightning flash across the sky.
Some evenings, the 5 older sisters swam to the surface together. They sat on rocks and sang to the ships. They had beautiful voices that rang through the air. But when the sailors heard the sisters' songs, they became frightened. The sailors quickly turned their ships around to head for shore. As the years went by, humans told stories of the singing sisters. They said mermaids were wicked because they tricked humans. Foolish sailors loved to hear the mermaids' songs and would sail too close. Then their ships would crash into the rocks. None of these stories were true. The sisters did not want to hurt anyone. They just loved to sing. But the 5 mermaids eventually lost interest in the upper world, and they spent less and less time singing to the ships. For the sea folk, there was no place as nice as their home at the bottom of the sea. The Sea Kingdom was the best place to live and always would be. For 5 years, the Little Mermaid listened to her sister's tales. She longed for her own adventure in the upper world.
Oh, how I wish I were 15.
She cried.
I know I will love the world up there and all the humans in it.
Little Fox.